You were once very strong and disciplined, athletic, confident, healthy, fit, right? And somehow that has just dwindled down the drain, okay? And there's always lots of different reasons, but in this video, I'm going to answer the top 25 most common questions that I actually get from ex-athletes. In the most unegotistical way. I do get a lot of questions because, well, there's also a lot of people who follow me, right? The top 25 questions, particularly, I've got my notes here around getting lean, strong, and healthy in particular, because it's not just about losing weight. It's about actually looking lean, fit, strong, and actually feeling healthy, right? I've basically accumulated the top 25 questions with reference to that. But before we get into it, this really is only for ex-athletes who are wanting to lose 30 to 100 pounds and get lean and get strong and get healthy again. If that's not you, or you're just simply not serious about it, then, please click off the video. Now that the people who are serious are here and we've got rid of the people who aren't serious, let's get into these questions because there's obviously a lot. The first couple of ones are around mindset and identity, and believe this or not, it's actually one of the more important areas of questions that I do get asked, because I believe without the right mindset, you can't achieve what you want. Whereas if you do have the right mindset, you can achieve what you want, right? So first question, why did I gain so much weight after, stopping competing? And it's simply because, well, firstly, you didn't change any of your lifestyle or eating habits, and you kept eating in the same way, and you just stopped training as much. So that's the first reason, because you're just eating in the same way and you're not exerting and burning as many calories. And then secondly, on top of that, you're a lot older now. You're in your 30s, 40s, or 50s, okay? And so metabolically and hormonally, there's changes that your body has gone through, but you haven't adapted your nutrition or your lifestyle to combat that. Second one, how do I get out of this all or nothing mindset? This is something I coach and mentor my clients on all the time. It's very common. How to get out of it is, there's a lot of strategies, but a very quick answer is just simply realizing that your all or nothing mindset is keeping you stuck. It is like your prison in life after sport. And the minute you realize that you're getting in your own way by having this all or nothing mindset, you're the one bringing on self-sabotage. You're the reason that, you're not achieving the things that you want because of the mindset. Then it's like a very simple flick of a switch where it's like, oh, well then, if I really want the best for myself, let's just ditch that mindset, okay? Easier said than done, of course, which is why I end up coaching clients around that topic all the time. 3, I used to train 6 to 7 days a week, so why is it so hard now? Well, firstly, it's so hard because you probably are overweight if you're watching this, okay? So you're carrying around that extra weight, which is fatiguing, it is tiring, it is exhausting for your body to be doing that. So that's one reason your energy stores are lower. And secondly, your life is just different now. You have all of these other responsibilities, lifestyle stresses, and it's usually just a depletion of energy and fatigue, and you're just not thinking with reference to how your life is now. You're still thinking back in the past of how your life used to be. 4, how do I rebuild confidence when I feel so far gone? Yeah. This one's really common, all people say, how do I rebuild my confidence or my self-esteem when I'm not this young, fit 20-year-old anymore, right? And truth is, you're the only one who can build up true self-esteem, okay? People can fake confidence through and through every single day of the week. Some people are great masters of it, but true self-esteem is self-built. And if you feel like you're too far gone, well, then you're just going to keep yourself stuck. Again, this is why the first 5 questions that I'm going to answer is mindset, because if you truly believe you're too far gone and that you're never going to achieve self-confidence or self-esteem again, then you're not going to. But if you believe that you can at least lose 30 pounds, at least, and you believe it to be possible to reclaim your confidence or reclaim your self-esteem, well then what's the higher chance and probability that you will, right? Like it's more so just your perspective, right? You know, I've been back at square one where I lost all of my muscle, had to learn to walk again, like literally depressed, no self-esteem, nothing whatsoever. People gave me compliments like, oh, you're still a young woman, blah, 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 you know, but it didn't sink in, okay? So nothing no one can tell you will truly sink in, and you won't truly absorb it. Even myself talking right now, you're probably not truly absorbing it. You're probably not truly believing it because of your own self-limited beliefs, right? And so you have to believe it possible for yourself. You have to believe that it's possible to lose 30 to 100 pounds. You have to believe it's possible to regain your self-esteem or your confidence in your 30s, 40s, or 50s. Like, no matter how terrible that ex-partner was, or no matter how much weight you have, no matter how much you got bullied at school a very long time ago, whatever your reason is, if you don't believe it's possible to rebuild your self-esteem and lose 30 to 100 pounds, then you won't. Number 5, can I ever feel like an athlete again? Of course you can. Okay, it obviously for some people there's certain limitations, like they literally won't be able to run again or something like that. And everyone has a different opinion on what really makes an athlete. Like in my opinion, an athlete is someone who is a pro athlete, right? But some people consider themselves athletes if they're a collegiate athlete, or they just like did a lot of sports when they were a kid. So you're entitled to your own opinion. But I think you can feel like an athlete again, even if you don't compete. I wouldn't name yourself an athlete. Again, you do you, but I think it is possible to feel like an athlete again. You can feel like an athlete again when you ingrain that self-discipline again. You can feel like an athlete again when you like think like an athlete again. You can feel like an athlete again when you start to fuel yourself properly. You can feel like an athlete when you're playing that sport even recreationally, you know? I think there's many things you can do and things that you can change and add into your life, and things that you should take away from your current habits in order to feel like an athlete again. I think it's possible. And if you don't think it's possible, then it's not possible. Again, this is just like your state of mind and your mindset. All right, moving on to more tangible things around training and movement. So how should I train now that I'm 30 to 50 and heavier? Firstly, it depends how heavy you are, okay? Like if you're over 30 pounds, and you know that your primary health concern is the fact that you are overweight, you've got high cholesterol, high blood pressure, at risk of heart attack, stroke, or you just know like being overweight isn't healthy, right? I think that your primary source of movement should be steps, to be honest, because it's easy, it's not too invasive in the body, and it's a form of cardio that you can prolong for a very long period of time. And personally, I've found a lot more success in less is more, right? And I think honestly, once you can lose even half the weight you want to lose, not only then will you have more energy, but you also have half the amount of weight carrying you down, fatiguing your body. And therefore, if you want to train in the gym or do any sort of resistance training or any sort of other physical activity or physical exertion, then you're probably going to do it in a much more efficient and effective way, and your quality of that training is going to be significantly increased because you have lost half the weight that's weighing down your body, making you feel tired, and it's exhausting. So I think your primary concern should be, and course of action should be, losing the weight, at least half of it to begin with. I gotta be quick. Number 2, do I need to do cardio every single day? Depends what you consider cardio. Hey, everyone has their opinions. I think you should be doing some sort of movement every single day, just from a health perspective. Cardio depends what you frame as cardio, right? If you say that steps are cardio, well then yeah, you should be doing some sort of steps every single day. Yes. But if you don't consider steps cardio, well then it really depends on your situation. There's no general answer. What's the best workout split for fat loss? The best workout split for fat loss is healing your relationship with food and hitting certain targets consistently every single day. And what I mean by that is there is no workout that's going to burn the fat on your belly other than losing weight. there's no workout that's going to burn the fat on your arms other than losing weight. Now, gaining muscle can increase the muscle around your abs. If you train abs, it will increase the muscle tissue around your triceps, like the back of your arms, for example. But it's not going to burn weight in that specific area. You can't burn weight in that specific area. I know there's so many fitness gurus. There's one in particular I know of very well. And they, it's just a scheme. It's not real, okay? So I think the best workout split is to honestly focus on a daily step count and some other daily habits that you perform consistently, like drinking enough water consistently. Just start simple, all right? And I wouldn't even prioritize training if you are overweight. Like, your primary concern should be losing the weight, especially if you are over 30 pounds heavy. What if my joints hurt? If your joints hurt, you should go get professional help, to be honest. Obviously, one thing that can help with joint pain is actually losing the weight, though, because any extra load and force on that joint is just going to make it hurt more, right? So, usually half of the pain is resolved when, my clients lose the weight. But in terms of the actual injury or joint pain, you should go get professional help, like from myself or, some other health professional. 5, can I still lift heavy whilst trying to lose weight? You can. Again, is it optimal? Depends if you've been training consistently, like, your whole life, okay? If you've been training consistently in the gym, lifting heavy for your whole life, well, then I don't want to take away a passion that you love, right? So in that case, we include it. But if you haven't ever trained heavy, really, and you need to lose weight, I would just focus, again, less is more, quality over quantity. Do your steps, drink enough water, focus on those daily habits. And then when you lose the weight, you'll feel more confident, you'll have more energy, and you'll actually train at a higher quality. I think that's a bit too much of a, personal question to just generalize. How much should I train per week to see results? It's such a general question. Hey, it depends on what your results, the results that you want. If we're talking muscle gain, though, you should train at least a decent amount of lean muscle mass tissue increase to really optimize and enhance your physique and lean down and all those kinds of things. I would say a minimum of 4 times a week, but quality workouts. And sometimes even me, I only train 4 days a week in the gym, and it's because it's really good high quality sessions. It's enough. In fact, any more would actually be a disservice to my body and my own transformation. Gotta be quick here. Nutrition. How many calories do I need to eat to lose 50 plus pounds? Depends on your height, weight, goals, etc. So many other factors as well. In general, though, I would be looking at around, it depends on the person, but roughly anywhere between let's just say roughly 400 calories less per day. So that you get sufficient weight loss, but it's not too much where you end up starving and just losing your brain cells. Do I have to count macros or track everything? You can. You probably have, and you realized it wasn't sustainable for you. Honestly, I don't get any of my clients to do that. I just don't think it's realistic long term. If something isn't realistic long term, then don't do it short term. Otherwise, you're just setting yourself up for failure. And also think about the long term situation. What happens when you go to a wedding? What happens when you go eat that pesto pasta at an Italian restaurant? You don't know how much pesto, pasta, olive oil is in there, let alone how much pasta or chicken. It's just unrealistic. So I wouldn't say that you have to do it. I would definitely go get professional help, though, if you're lost with your nutrition. How much protein should I eat? You should eat, okay, especially if you're a little bit older, you should be more mindful of your protein intake. If you're over 40, how much protein should you eat? Depends on the person. Anywhere from 1.4 grams to max 1.8 or 9 grams per kilo. I don't know what that is in pounds. You can do the maths. Can I still eat out or drink? Of course you can, but the primary thing there is actually understanding how to go about that in a intuitive manner so that you're being smart about it. But of course you can still eat out and drink. Yeah, all my clients still do that, but they know how to go about it, right? How do I stop binging on weekends? You heal your mindset. You heal your relationship with food. That's how you stop binging on weekends. You stop restricting yourself 5 days a week and then losing the plot as well. 7, do I need supplements to lose weight? No, you definitely don't. There's no supplement in the world that will help you lose weight other than weight loss injections. But again, they all have these terrible side effects. And if you're not going to take it long term, then chances are once you go off it, you'll put the weight back on because you haven't actually healed any of your lifestyle habits or lifestyle factors. And a lot of them also like break down your muscle, because muscle is weight as well. So yeah. All right, let's be really, really quick. I got 6 minutes before a meeting. So I'm busy with work and family. How do I stay consistent? Realizing that you don't have to do everything and anything. Realizing that less is more, quality over quantity. And being, really realistic with the way that you plan your food, with the way that you plan workouts. Just realizing less is more. And also really, really, really prioritizing your sleep. By that I mean not forcing yourself to get 8 hours when you can't get 8 hours. But by that I mean really focusing on your sleep quality, especially if you've got a lot of responsibilities. How much sleep do I really need is another question. It really depends on the quality of your sleep. It's not actually about the hours, because you could sleep for 8 or 10 hours, but it's shit quality. It's the quality of your sleep that's a lot more important rather than the hours. And so if you don't know how good your quality of sleep is or how bad it is, just get like an Apple Watch, Garmin, Fitbit, Whoop, some sort of fitness watch, and it tracks it. I promise you, the minute you start looking at your sleep data, you're probably going to get a shock, or you'll be rest assured that you are getting quality sleep. So I wouldn't say that the hours matter. How do I get back into rhythm without burning out? Starting small. Just start, like literally today, start saying that you're going to do one habit consistently for the next 30 days, okay? For example, I'm going to drink 1 or 2 gallons of water per day for the next 30 days, right? Just start really simple and then build up right there. How do I deal with stress eating? Healing your mindset, healing your relationship with food, realizing that whenever you're stressed, also documenting when you are stressed, what kind of foods do you crave? Is it salty? Is it sweet? Is it fatty? Is it like fried foods? Or is it just like food in general? Like, are you even aware of when you're stressed, what kind of foods you crave? If you don't know, I'd start literally just having like a food journal, like a blank notebook, and writing it down, or writing it down on your phone whenever you're craving something, writing down what you crave, what your stimulating stress is to. Is it work? Is it family? Like understanding what you crave and what kind of stress you're experiencing as well. And then from there, understanding the relationship between the two. How long will it take to lose 30 to 100 pounds? With me, for example, we are realistic and sustainable about it. Okay, so I've never had a client that's lost 30 pounds in 2 months, because if you can lose weight that quickly, chances are what you did to lose that weight that quickly wasn't sustainable, and then you'll put the weight back on and you'll mess with some very important fundamental underlying hormones, like your satiety hormone, ghrelin, insulin, like, even your sex hormones and stuff like that. So 30 pounds, I would say around 4 months roughly, and 100 pounds anywhere between 6 to 10 months. Again, it depends on whether you're male or female, and it depends on your consistency as well, and whether your plan is realistic or not. But 30 pounds, around 4 months, I would say is actually realistic. And based off what I do, that is something that is like legitimately tangible. What's the biggest mistake ex-athletes make trying to lose weight? The biggest mistake they make is thinking they have to do everything. I have to go fully clean. I have to work out 2 hours in the gym 6 days a week. I have to do this, I have to do that, I have to take this supplement, I have to do that, I have to do that. And before they know it, they're just overwhelmed and they actually don't take action. Or you're the person who just endlessly scrolls on social media and I need more information, I need to accumulate all the knowledge. You're watching my videos, endless videos, not actually taking action because you think what you have to do is just so extreme. That's the biggest mistake. Especially because what you did to be so great as an athlete, it was extreme, So I understand where it comes from. And last one, 25th question, do I need a coach or can I do it on my own? If you could do it on your own, then you would already be where you want to be and you'd be able to maintain those results. So chances are if you're still watching this video, you can't do it on your own and you do need a coach or a mentor that, you know, without this sounding like so like selling like, because I don't want it to come across that way, but that is the truth. Like if you have tried to do it on your own and you haven't gotten to where you want to be, chances are you do need help, right? Because if you could do it all on your own, like you'd already be there. You wouldn't be watching videos, you wouldn't be following me, you wouldn't be trying to lose weight, you wouldn't be trying to heal your injuries, you wouldn't be trying to do any of those things. And I know that's a bit harsh, but that is the reality, right? It's the same thing like with business. Yes, you can try and build your own business on your own, you can try and do it all on your own. But if you're not where you want to be after all the tireless time and effort, well then you probably need to hire a mentor or a business professional or something like that. It's the same story, right? So in that case, yeah, you do need a coach, but you know, if you are an ex-athlete, you probably need someone who understands the mindset of an ex-athlete and those other things like injuries and hormones and blah, 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 blah. But anyway, very quick video. They are the top 25 questions though that I do get as a coach from ex-athletes wanting to lose 30 to 100 pounds. And so now that you've got those powerful answers, yeah, if, you know, you want to have a chat and see if what we do works for you, you can click the link below and book in a chat. It's just a strategy session, like mapping out a game plan, seeing if you are a good fit, and worst case scenario, if you're not a good fit, you know, we'll try and point you in the direction of something that might help you. So no guarantees there, but it is free. Yeah, that's about it. You know, if you enjoyed this video, you found it, you know, insightful and valuable, definitely hit the subscribe button because it does help the algorithm and it does support me. Like I didn't make any money off, you know, doing this video, but with that being said, I know it would have helped you. It probably sparked some mindset and thinking pathways that maybe you haven't thought of before. Drop a comment as well about any other questions that you have with reference to losing weight as an ex-athlete that weren't answered in this video, and I'll get back to you in my own time and try my best to answer them for you.